Oh, yes. It is time once again for the Audience Adventure Radio Hour here, 7 to 8 o'clock, every Friday night this summer on KZSC Santa Cruz. My name is Bennett Williamson, the host, and so happy to say joining me once again, I don't know, we need a new name for you. You're like the game master, the co-host, the producer, the financier. It's Tad Leckman.
Hello, Bennett.
Hi, I'm so glad you're back here with me this week.
Glad to be back.
Yeah. And playing it cool over in the corner, we've got special guest Annika over there. Hello. Hi there.
Hello.
Annika, what's up? Get closer to the mic there. Get friendly with it.
Yeah.
Hello.
There you go. Annika, you and Tad are live here with me, and pretty soon we're going to need the callers to join us by calling 831-459-4036. What we do here on the show is we take you through an adventure, maybe a game, or today we're going to be reading a game book called Time Travel Dinosaur. Time Travel Dinosaur.
Much better, thank you.
By Matt Youngmark, and there's going to be points along the way like a choose your own adventure where we're going to need you to call or text in and help us along. So
we can't make these decisions. We need your help to make these decisions.
Certainly we're not prepared to make them ourselves or responsible enough. So we're going to turn it over to the wisdom of the crowd. And again, the number to call or text is 831-459-4036. We've also, we're streaming on Instagram Live once again. If you look up Bennett for Senate, that's me, and you'll see Tad here on the stream. So I see Hesi's over there. We're going to have to get Hesi. Hesi, you got to call 831-459-4036 to join us. So
shall we
dive right in? We've got plenty of time. Again, this is a game book from Matt Youngmark, and you can find him at youngmark.com, called Time Travel Dinosaur. So, Tad, please do the honors, if you would, sir, and bring us into this strange world on the Audience Adventure Hour.
You find yourself lying chin down on a threadbare rug in an unfamiliar room. Slowly, the fog in your head starts to lift. You glance around to see a bearded, wild-eyed man, about 20 pounds of cobbled-together machinery strapped to his chest. He's working at a whiteboard frantically, rubbing out sections with his fist and filling in new numbers with a dry erase marker. The year, if everything has gone as planned, should be 1983. And it's a pretty safe bet that this guy is your mission objective. Your ears perk up, and you absent-mindedly scratch your neck with a hind leg. We should mention at this point that you're currently inhabiting the body of a Labrador Retriever.
What?
The Time Travel Investigation Agency might sound like an exciting place to work, but you've learned that the actual business of time travel investigation is unbelievably dull. There are several hard and fast physical laws that govern time travel, and those laws tend to make quantum exploration a remarkably boring affair. I feel like Bennett, our deep voice, our awesome voice in the other mic, might want to read these hard and fast rules out to us.
Rule number one. First, you can't travel to any period before November 5th, 1931, presumably the date that time travel was invented. This puts some fairly severe limits on time travel as a means to clarify the historical record. You also can't visit any date after August 12th, 2271, although nobody knows why. No investigator who looked into it has ever returned to file a report, which tends to discourage further study. Secondly, you can't send physical matter through time, so your actual body doesn't make the trip. You can only transfer your consciousness into a body that already exists in the targeted time period. It's called the Bacula principle. If your own body is alive and well at whatever age, you'll automatically snap into it. But if you travel before your birth or after your death, you can float around a bit and select a convenient host, which explains the Labrador Retriever. It also explains how a recent college graduate like yourself got hired as a time travel investigator. The fewer years you've been alive, the more years you have to travel the time stream freely without being pulled into a younger version of yourself. The third rule. The whole idea that you can alter the past is a fantasy, since alternate time streams would break Einstein's theory of relativity. So there's only one reality. So if you travel back in time and accomplish anything at all, that action is already part of history before you got there. Your boss, Professor Van Kataraman, insists that this doesn't necessarily prove all human decisions are predestined, but the subtleties are lost on you. What it definitely means is that no one can go back in time and stop Hitler, though many have tried, or accidentally screw up the past. All of this, in turn, would seem to mean that your job is largely pointless.
In fact, all you really do is visit miscellaneous crackpots between the years of 1931 and 1990 and verify that they aren't involved in miscellaneous time travel shenanigans. Spoiler alert, they never are.
Wah, wah.
Sure, the agency will occasionally discover a rare case where some joker manages to travel back and feed himself winning lottery numbers and then retroactively build a time machine with the winnings. But you have yet to uncover anything like that, and if your luck holds out, you never will. The paperwork required to report self-inducing chronology loop is mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling!
As you observe your mark, you're increasingly convinced that you have nothing to worry about. He seems intent on giving his dog a play-by-play description of everything he's doing, which is making your job remarkably easy. He also seems to be under the impression that his dog is a government spy, which is making your job hilarious.
This is it, Betsy,
he says, vaguely gesturing to a digital clock on his chest that looks like it was yanked from the dashboard of an Oldsmobile.
In exactly 1 minute, the fabric of the universe will tear open, and I'll remove myself from the space-time continuum completely.
Yeah, this guy's nuts. You start making mental preparations to terminate the mission and transfer your consciousness back to the present day. Meanwhile, mad science guy continues to rant.
Tell them I did it, Betsy!
The timer on his chest is at 45 seconds.
Tell your secret masters that I've conquered reality itself. By the time you...
Before he can finish, a shimmering blue portal appears in the air behind him. An exact duplicate of the scientist leaps out of it, holding what looks to be an antique revolver, and shoots the original version right in the face. What the?
Ah!
The portal collapses shut, and the second scientist flashes you a grin. He fiddles with the dial on his chest rig and opens up a new portal that he dives into, leaving you alone with a corpse of his alternate self. You're not entirely sure what you just witnessed. Did this guy just break all the unbreakable laws of quantum mechanics? Physically traveling through time, killing his past self? That's at least 2. You need a moment to process all this, but you realize that if the second portal closes as quickly as the first one did, you don't have a moment to spare. Then again, you're pretty much in a dog at the moment. What can you possibly hope to accomplish by chasing after him?
All right, listeners, now we need your help. If you jump into the portal and pursue the scientist, we'll turn to page 7. If you immediately report back to your superiors at the Time Travel Investigation Agency, turn to page 9. So 831-459-4036. You can text that number and we'll get it. You can also call 831-459-4036. We need you to help us decide, are we going to jump right into the portal, pursue a course of immediate action, or are we going to turn tail like good bureaucrats? Oh yeah, good dogs. We're a dog. That's right. I already like good Labrador Retriever. I mean, that's true. What would a Labrador do? You think it would go?
We have to, if our listeners answer our call to adventure.
That's right, 831-459-4036. Surely a Labrador Retriever would head on home to its master.
Sure, it would just go home and give up.
Sounds like there's a lot of paperwork waiting for us there.
Sure, that sounds enjoyable.
Anyone watching on Instagram Live, you can find me at Bennifer Senate. You can chime in there as well. I like this cat. I like this setup. It's pretty good. Well, you know what? What do you think, Annika? Should we go home and actually wait. Well, hold on. Hold that thought. Here we go, caller. Let's get you on here if we can. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm absolutely here.
Hey, all right. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Roby. I'm calling from Santa Cruz.
Hey, Roby,
Girl.
were you calling us? Were you calling us a few weeks ago?
I don't know. Maybe. Did I call about the Jolly Llamas?
I don't know. This is a time travel thing, so I can understand the confusion is mutual. So
That is possible.
so-
I did time travel just to call you guys.
Oh, hey,
Excellent.
thank you.
Above and beyond.
We appreciate that, Roby.
Well done.
So, are you feeling like we should jump into the portal and pursue the scientist, or do you want to go back to the Time Travel Investigation Agency?
You know, I would jump through the portal.
Good call.
I like
It
that
sounded like you guys
idea.
wanted to jump through the portal too.
Was I leaning on it hard enough?
Just a little bit.
You were. You were making the dude. You were saying turn tail.
I don't know. I mean, it's called the Adventure Hour. I mean, I guess I work in a giant bureaucracy all day, so this is kind of an escapist thing for me.
All right. Well, let's escape through the portal.
Yeah, all right.
Let's do it.
Hey, Roby, stay on the line with us, and we'll keep you on.
Oh, okay.
All right, so page 7, this is where we're at. This is no time to hesitate. You plunge into the rift and find your... The fabric of reality, it turns out, looks more or less like cheap CGI. You drift weightlessly through a tunnel of psychedelic light and then pop out the other side with a jolt. The unexpected impact of re-entering the time stream knocks you right out of the Labrador Retriever. Aw, crap! Usually when you make a time jump, your consciousness gently floats around until you either find a host or, failing that, you slip back to your own time period and try again. This time, however, everything feels wrong. The subtle mental link you should have with your native time period is completely missing. As your awareness drifts upward, you see Betsy the dog running toward a thicket of odd-looking palm trees. The enormous, leathery form of a Tyrannosaurus Rex promptly crashes out of the tree line. Okay, that would mean you're way, way further back than 1931. And the third unbreakable law of time travel has snapped like a twig. Also, that dinosaur's totally going to eat that dog. You have to save Betsy! Or do you? I mean, she doesn't belong in this era, and all laws of time and space seem to have gone out the window. Is it safe to leave a Labrador wandering around the Cretaceous period? If you transfer your consciousness back into the dog and help her escape, turn to page 16. If you transfer your consciousness onto the T-Rex, turn to page 34. If you let whatever's going to happen here happen and look for a different host altogether, like, the mad scientist, turn to page 112. Wow. Roby.
Wait, I have to make this decision?
Is it too much pressure for you?
Well, what do you... we've got Annika here in the studio with us.
We can maybe see if we can find some consensus. What do you think?
Well, what does Annika think?
Yeah.
I say save the dog. You have to save the dog.
Okay. It's one vote for Save the Dog.
Seems reasonable. If you want to text in on this one, 831-459-4036, Matthew or Hesi. Matthew says, I missed everything but T-Rex consciousness, please.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it's tempting.
Interesting.
It's tempting.
So wait, the other option is to take over the consciousness of the mad scientist?
Yes, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That sounds like the smartest move in my opinion.
Well,
But then again, doesn't he have he has all the resources of time travel and all that stuff? So.
He's also apparently insane.
Well, yeah, but which means that there's nothing lost if you
that's
jump
true.
into his brain and
Presumably,
Whoa.
we're not insane, so that's correct.
so we've got one vote for each. If someone wants to break the tie, you can text 831-459-4036. I mean, we were playing a D&D game recently, and someone turned into a T-Rex, and that seemed like a lot of fun. But I am thinking, with my brashness, I'm kind of with Annika. Maybe we should, save a dog. It's a dog, right?
Saving the dog's never a bad move,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think.
does the dog really need us to save it?
That's true.
That's the real question.
Oh man.
Oh.
In this time that is not its natural time.
Who knows where we are or when we are, really?
All right, how do we do this? Do I need to bust out a die?
Oh, do you have one?
Do I have one?
Do you have one?
Did you really need to ask?
Get out the dice!
We'll let the fates decide.
But, someone else could text real quick, 831-459-4036. Matthew brings up the good point that what has the dog ever done for us? But he I guess Matthew, it hosted our consciousness earlier on in this, so, it scratched the itch that we had behind our ear.
It did.
All right, great dice.
All right, let's see if they will speak. So we'll say, fortunately I couldn't find a 6-sided die. So we'll say 1, 2, dog, 3, 4, T-Rex, 5, 6, scientist, 1.
We're going dog.
We're going to save the dog.
Save the dog.
The fates
All
have
right, I
spoken.
guess that's the morally correct thing to do.
It's also the randomly decided thing to do.
Isn't it easy to be immoral when you're just calling in over the phone? I just sit here and look into Annika's eyes when she's
True.
like, "We got to save the dog." All right.
All right, so we're heading to page 16, folks.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm on the.
All right, here we go.
I'm right. I'm there.
Betsy's a good dog. After having access to her innermost thoughts and feelings, you can make that judgment comprehensively. And you will be damned if you're going to let her wind up as a snack for some Jurassic reject. Technically, you're in the Cretaceous period, which along with the Jurassic and Triassic form the Mesozoic era. But this is no time for paleontology, damn it. You've got a dog to rescue. You settle back into the familiar environs of the Labrador Retriever, which would be nice and cozy if it weren't for the overwhelming sense of abject terror. You spot a clump of low bushes that might offer some cover, but it's on the far side of 7 tons of apex predator. Is there any chance you could get past this thing? I mean, something that huge can't be terribly maneuverable, right? Behind you is nothing but open plains and a nasty-looking prehistoric river. If you run your little canine legs off, you might make it there before the T-Rex runs you down. To be honest, though, you're not sure your chances of survival are any higher in the raging rapids. But at least the water doesn't have 9-inch teeth.
If you run towards the river and hurl yourself in, turn to page 50. If you try to scoot past the dinosaur and find safety in the shrubbery, turn to page 82. Matthew's totally come around on Betsy. He says Betsy is the best dog in my humble opinion.
And we're all Betsy together.
We got a lot of Betsy love.
Okay, so all you lovers of Betsy, what's our best move to save her?
What do you think, caller?
River or bushes? Into the shrubbery?
Well, I feel like in real life I would dive into the bushes, but I'd probably get caught by the dinosaur before I get there. That's just how I feel. I mean, can our main character swim?
Well, we're a dog right now.
Labs?
Our consciousness is inside labs.
Labs
yeah?
are water dogs.
Oh.
They absolutely can swim.
Okay. Is the current in the river strong though? I wonder.
We don't know.
We don't know. There's one way to
but
find
dogs
out.
can run fast too. Dogs might be able to get past the dinosaur. I mean, I'm not fast like a dog.
I want you to decide, my friend.
I think I'm going to jump in the bush.
All right.
What does everybody else think?
Into the shrubbery. I think that seems valid.
Well, dinosaurs can't see in front of them or on the sides of them
Oh.
because their eyes face forward. So I'd go to the shrubbery because they can't see.
Okay.
All right.
I think we have consensus.
Page 82. Here we come.
Page 82 is very far away.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we'll need a new. We'll have to work on a theme tune for that.
We should.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty sure that river is going to kill you. You veer away from it and haul butt until the dinosaur is right on your heels, about to pounce. Then you dig your paws into the turf, dart directly between its legs, and scamper off into the underbrush. Your pursuer reels back in surprise and loses its footing, tumbling 30 feet across the forest floor and rooting up several saplings before skidding to a halt. Holy crap! You should seriously consider being a Labrador full-time because your ninja acrobat dog moves are spectacular. You push through the foliage until you're certain you've ditched the carnivore, then use your keen canine senses to locate the scientist. The Cretaceous period is full of radically new sights and smells, but fortunately, his aroma is both distinctive and powerful. You follow his scent to a wide, empty clearing where you find him gesticulating wildly, trying to explain something to another identical mad scientist? Uh-oh. You hide behind something vaguely fern-like and watch as 3 more duplicates pop out of shimmering portals. Suddenly you realize that the clearing isn't empty at all. but filled with a wide assortment of tents and makeshift shelters. A crew of doppelgangers is looking over blueprints and clearing crates from the center of the encampment as they finish an enormous steel tower of dubious construction appears on the spot. Well, appears may be the wrong word, though, because, of course, it was already there. It's always been there. Wow, that escalated quickly. As you survey the bustling village of scientist clones, you hear rustling leaves and an all-too-familiar voice behind you.
I did it, Betsy!
It's one of the scientists, wide-eyed and frothy mouth as ever.
Is it really you? Are you here in the flesh? But of course you are. A floating spy means an empty Betsy can't be far behind.
His ranting draws the attention of several others, and soon you're surrounded.
Here, Betsy!
One of them says, dropping to his knees and patting the ground in front of him.
Good girl, Betsy. Yes!
Another exclaims.
You must come see the tower, Betsy. Everything makes so much sense inside the tower.
A third scientist is just staring at you, gritting his teeth and shaking.
Get the dog to the tower.
He mutters to himself under his breath.
Get the dog to the tower. Get the dog to the tower.
Okay, this is creepy. If you hope to find any clues to what these madmen are up to, though, you know where to look. Granted, from the way they're acting, they seem as likely to cook you and eat you in there as give you the grand tour. Should you risk it? If you enter the misshapen tower with the legion of crazy people, turn to page 224. If you turn tail and flee while you still have the chance, turn to page 152. Let's, caller, tell me your name again.
Oh, this is Roby.
Roby, I want you to help us with this last one, and then we might try to get another caller for the second half of the show here.
I appreciate you guys taking me on for so long of your adventure.
You've been
Thanks for coming with us.
You've been great. You haven't killed us. You've been reasonable and fun and silly. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
So do you want to dive into this misshapen tower with the legion of crazy people, or you want to get out of here, Roby?
It seems like the right idea. I mean, worst comes to worst, we just, we have to run away from the tower once we get in there. But I mean, I feel like, if we don't go in the tower, we're just basically not continuing the adventure at this point.
Onward into the tower and the crazy people.
Thank you, Roby. Have a great night.
Well, you too.
All right, we'll see you.
To page 244. I'm getting to page 244.
Oh, yeah, we need the new song for that.
I mean,
it's kind of a yakety sax moment, right?
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, you got it? You want to go ahead then?
Is it 244?
I sure hope so.
Okay. You allow the growing crowd of lunatics to herd you into what is more or less their lair, even though there's no way this could possibly end well. The ground floor is one enormous metal chamber with a hodgepodge of consoles and switches lining the walls and a circular pit in the center. Yet another scientist awaits you there, this one with a beard at least a foot longer than the others. He looks like he hasn't slept in a year. He sees you and does a double take.
Huh? The dog! Is it time for tests already?
He checks the digital clock on his time travel chest rig and gasps. You scan the room for possible exits, but there's only one door. There's only the door you entered through, and it's packed with science clones. Meanwhile, the long-bearded one has begun muttering to himself.
Mistakes were made,
he says.
One trip to the Precambrian, and suddenly the dinosaurs all lost their feathers. So much work to do. We doubled and redoubled once. I understood I could travel back mere seconds, then immediately decide not to. The universe can't self-correct me. Persistent or otherwise, it holds no power. If you can't hear its cry through the static.
You decide that Longbeard takes the medal for the battiest clone so far. And that field was competitive, man. But before he can launch into a chorus of I'm a little teapot or wherever this is headed, a column of blue light erupts from the pit in the center of the room. Apparently the crazy bastards have a death ray. Someone grabs you from behind, and you yelp in surprise.
Don't worry, girl,
the Longbeard says.
This test can't hurt you. It only has the power to make you whole.
Okay, that sounds like nonsense.
It seeks out the best possible version.
He continues.
The one true you, anywhere in history, in any possible timeline. two become one, merged with your ideal self. You'll lead the life you were always meant to. This machine will send you where you belong.
His voice grows soft.
After all these years, it will finally bring you home.
You're pretty sure he's talking to the voices in his head at this point. Nevertheless, is there any chance it could be your ticket back to the 21st century? You're not sure if your job at the TTIA qualifies as the ideal you in any possible timeline, but if this contraption actually does anything like what he claims it will, it might be your only way home. Before you get the opportunity to find out, though, a portal opens up across the room,
Whoa.
and another scientist steps through.
Nope.
He says flatly.
The dog just exploded. I can fix that.
One of them yells from the console.
Okay, try it now.
Your captor lifts you off the floor and carries you towards the beam. No! Wait! But if you were going to explode again, another clone would show up and make them recalibrate, right? So that means this time the device should work as advertised? Either way, either that or you blow up even worse, and they just give it up as a lost cause.
If you go gentle into that blue light, turn to page 103. If you freak out, bite your captor, and try to wriggle out of his grasp, turn to page 190. All right, people, now's the grasp. Turn to page 190. All right, people, now's the time. We need your help here on this adventure. 831-459-4036. That is the number that you can call or text. Be like Roby. Join our adventuring party here. We've got Matthew streaming on Instagram. Hesi's been on there. We gotta
come join the adventure.
Let's see, coming in right now. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hi. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hesi from Santa Cruz.
Hesi. I think I hear Juanito in the background there too.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, everybody. Well, I gotta say, so Hesi, we have you to thank for the whole audience adventure hour. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I remember you being in my office and saying, "Hey man, we should do choose your own adventure books on the radio."
And I think a few days later, Hesi's like, "Dad, I told Bennett we should do choose your own adventure on the radio. You should tell him to do that." And I did, and it worked.
Yes. So how do you feel that your dastardly plan has come to light, Hesi?
It's amazing, hearing like every week and just making it happen. That's awesome.
Excellent.
So, well, you've come at just the right time. We need your help.
We do.
So, did you hear this last section of what we were reading?
Yes, it was either the beam of light or trying to run away.
Yes, bite your captor and wriggle out of his grasp.
Right. Let's go for the beam of light. We'll see.
Beam of light, page 103. Back we go to 103.
Matthew says we should head for the light too. So
okay.
I'm gonna play the scrolling music as we scroll frantically.
Okay.
I think it's my turn though, right?
Wait.
I'm still scrolling. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Well, wait, 103. If you can't trust ranting bearded lunatics with giant laser cannons, who can you trust? You take your chances and go limp as the doppelganger heaves you unceremoniously into the pulsating blue beam. Your physical body is instantly atomized, but your consciousness shoots out into the multiverse, rocketing millions of years into the future and sideways through alternate realities until you finally settle in. You open your eyes slowly and find yourself inside what appears to be a giant cardboard box amidst a rambunctious pile of Labrador pups. This isn't your ideal timeline at all. It's Betsy's. A heartbreakingly adorable little girl sporting unruly afro puffs grabs at the puppy next to you.
Read it.
A heartbreakingly adorable little girl sporting unruly afro puffs grabs at the puppy next to you.
This is the one,
She says, but it squirms out of her grasp before she can separate it from its litter mates. Undeterred, she snatches you up instead.
No, this is the one.
On the way to the counter for shots and paperwork, you pass a 40-something beardless science man, looking for all the world like he's one canine companion away from utter despair. Wait, if you go with him, you'll be there when he opens the time portal a few years from now, and you can try again. However, the merged consciousness of adult and puppy Betsy is in control, and it's already licking the little girl's face like she's made of candy. Like it or not, you're trapped here in a life of belly rubs, milk bones, and long afternoons chasing tennis balls around the park. When you stop to think about it, that actually sounds amazing. The end.
Nice.
Oh, good job, Hesi.
That was a satisfying ending.
That was actually
nice.
pretty good. We turned into a dog and got real happy.
Yeah.
That's nice. Hey, so Hesi, while we have you, man, you're a game designer, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, you've been working on a game called Juanito. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
So
that's right.
tell us,
Juanito.
tell us a bit about Juanito el Nahualito.
Sure. So you can find it at teamnahual.com. That's the first step to find more about it. But
Hey, spell that out for people. Teamnahual.com.
Yeah, team and then NAHUL.com. Yeah. And so it's about a teenager who is trying to find his grandpa, and in the way he learns about his Mesoamerican culture, like his ancestry.
And tell us a little bit about the game. I know there's some puzzle solving involved, and there's there's some animals in it.
Yeah. So it's basically, in the way he learns about his Mesoamerican culture, and he learns about that his grandpa used to be a shapeshifter. And he's trying to learn also how to use his powers for good in general, and trying to save his grandpa. So in the process, you solve some puzzles, and you learn by converting yourself into the spirit who is able to lure animals around the world.
Very cool. And at the site, can people get a copy of the game or play it on the site?
Yeah. So it's free and downloadable. You can download it and itch.io, so it has a link.
Okay.
And Annika, you actually got a
for Windows and Mac as well.
Excellent.
Annika, you got a chance to play Juanito, didn't you?
I did. It was very amazing. I could definitely see Aztec roots in there. I thought it was very beautiful. The idea of it was amazing.
There you go. You got a fan, Hesi.
And one thing I liked about the game, Juanito el Nahualito, is you have this chance to sort of jump in and out of your body. It's this sort of power of engaging with the spirit world, much like the sort of consciousness flipping that we're doing here, reading Time Travel Dinosaur, right here on the Audience Adventure Radio Hour on KZSC. Well, Hesi, do you want to stick around? I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Taj? Are we gonna?
We made the same mistake we did last time, which is we didn't mark down where we were in the previous page for making a decision. So I'm trying to find it so we can go back.
I'm gonna go to page 244 because I seem to remember that was a number that. It's funny.
That would be amazing.
It's
if that was true.
Trying to. You can't put your finger in a PDF. You know what I'm saying?
That's
the same
true.
way you can with a print book.
Oh my gosh, you were correct.
All
245 was where we actually ended up. 244 got us there.
All right, so let's go the other route and freak out and bite our captor and try to wriggle out of his grasp. So
that takes us to page 190.
Yes. And I think it's your go, Tad. So you're listening to the Audience Adventure Radio Hour right here on KZSC Santa Cruz. You can call or text 831-459-4036 to play along with us. And we are reading Matt Youngmark's Time Travel Dinosaur game book.
So as we're reading a time travel narrative, it makes sense that we will rewind time and pick a different time stream. So
rewind!
Betsy hates bath time a lot. So the muscle memory is all there. You clamp down on that sumbitch's arm with your teeth and thrash around like mad until you free yourself, knocking your captor half off his feet in the process. He stumbles forward, trying to regain his balance, tumbles headfirst into the pulsing blue beam, and is instantly disintegrated. See, that's why you thought this whole thing was a bad idea to begin with. One of the other clones, manning a station at a nearby console, drops to his knees.
It worked!
He exclaims.
1 second I was falling into the beam, and the next second, my God, I have both sets of memories, but my head feels clearer.
Apparently, this particular duplicate is the ideal mad scientist of all possible universes. With the sheer volume of them on hand, you suppose it makes sense one of them would be...
You can't be the Prime.
Longbeard sputters.
I'm the Prime. None of you spent years trapped in the Middle Ages. None of you solved the shielding problem in 1882. It has to be me.
The merged clone starts pacing back and forth, shaking his head.
It doesn't matter who the Prime is,
he says.
What we're doing here, it's all wrong. I can't figure out why, but it's broken. No, we're getting him back. I won't let you stop me.
Longbeard pulls a gun from under his coat. It's the same one he used to shoot his alternate self back in the 1980s, and judging by his clenched teeth, he means to use it. Should you intervene? The newly fused double doppelganger seems to be by far the most reasonable of the lot, and might just be the key to ending all this madness. Then again, you're one dog. What can you hope to accomplish here other than getting yourself shot?
So, if you throw yourself at Longbeard and try to snatch the gun out of his hand, we'll turn to page 137. If you decide not to get involved and just sneak away during the commotion, turn to page 40.
What do you think, Juan? Go for the gun. Air Buddy.
All right.
Air Buddy saves the day.
Snatch the gun.
Like Air Bud? I like that.
There's nothing in the rules that says it. No, wait. All right,
like your
page
spirit,
137.
Yeah, get the gun.
And it's your turn to read.
That's right. Scrolling on this PDF is brought to you by... yeah. Okay, so we're going for the gun?
Yes.
Page 137?
Yes.
Yeah, you totally get yourself shot.
Oh, no.
But wait, it isn't in vain. You leap into the line of fire just as the revolver discharges, taking the bullet that was intended for the merged clone. Your chest explodes in pain as your full weight smacks into Longbeard, knocking him backward directly into the beam.
Bitsy, no!
The now triple merged scientist rushes to your side.
What have I done? Oh, God, shut it down. Shut it all down.
Thanks to your noble sacrifice, calmer and marginally less insane heads prevail, and the blue beam flickers out. Alas, this is the end of the line for you, but take comfort in the fact that without your actions here, the multiverse would certainly be doomed. Also, because the sheer volume of tachyon particles has destabilized the space-time continuum in the immediate vicinity, local timelines are merging in unpredictable ways. This means that another version of you, who made different decisions, could wander along at any moment to pick up the baton from your heroic, bleeding paws. Wait for it? Wait for it? Okay. You pretty much bleed out before any other yous show up to continue your adventure. Still, it might happen. The end.
But I wonder what would have happened if we'd made a different choice. If we went back to page 191 and didn't try to grab the gun, but instead we just tried to sneak away.
Sneak away. What was that, page 40?
And page 40. Somewhere in the multiverse, there's a version of you crazy enough to take a gun-toting madman while in the body of a Labrador retriever. But that version is not here. You back away slowly and break into a run just as the gun fires. One scientist howls in pain, another one yells in fury, and then the whole roomful starts wailing uncontrollably in some combination of shock, fear, and grief. Alas, the merged clone, his mind made stronger by the combination of two alternate selves, did indeed have a vital role to play. Without him, the laser tower fires on schedule, and the shadowy creatures who set all these events in motion to begin with are able to siphon off the discharged extra-dimensional energy to... Well, look, it's a long story, but the end result is a catastrophic occurrence way off in 2271 that completely undoes the entire history of time in every possible universe. Oh, yeah. And the end result for you personally is being gunned down by a long-beard scientist who is now gone completely over the edge as you try to sneak out the door. Let's hope the other, braver Betsy has better luck in her own timeline.
The end. The end.
There we go.
End. Well, we're not having a lot of luck on this timeline.
We're not.
We got about 15 minutes left in the show, maybe 10 minutes left. I thought that maybe we should go back to a popular choice point early on, where we decided to actually inhabit the dog. But our other choice, as I recall, was to jump into the T-Rex.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes. So if we pick that up...
I'm there. I
Yes,
found that page.
why we're here on page 34.
Nice.
So we're going to rewind, just as this time travel narrative tells us, and we're gonna jump into instead of jumping into a dog's consciousness,
Or the scientist.
if you're just tuning in now, great. Just have fun with us right now. This is a time travel book. Okay, so your choices here are Tyrannosaurus Rex, dog, and other. And to be honest, we figured we could put blank pages at the end of the other two and no one would ever know. After all, this book isn't called Time Travel Labrador. You inhabit you find it to be a much bumpier ride than you anticipated. It might have something to do with how small your new brain is relative to your massive body, or the fact that the dinosaur's physiology is so radically different from the mammals you're used to. Either way, this monster is incredibly difficult to control. It's a struggle just to keep its base instincts from taking over, much less focus on whatever it was you came to the Cretaceous period for. Betsy has scurried off while you've been getting your bearings, which is actually a bit of a shame because now you're really need something to eat. So hungry. So very hungry. Perhaps you'll be able to concentrate better once you get some food inside you. If you go rustle up some lunch, turn to page 101. If you pull all your energy into suppressing your hunger and overcoming your animal urges, turn to page 200. Well, Hesi and Juan, you guys have done nothing but take us to our death ends. But I do want to give you guys the chance to guide us here.
Let's try to get something to eat. Let's try to feed him.
Okay.
That's very thoughtful
Page
of you.
101.
It's good. Yeah, you get hangry. You can't think straight.
Especially if you're a giant dinosaur.
A giant dinosaur. This book is called Time Travel Dinosaur, so I think spending a little time in the T-Rex is the right idea.
I think it is. Okay. A quick whiff with your humongous new nasal passages reveals a large group of Edmontosaurs nearby. So you lumber toward them at top speed. On average, those things are actually quite a bit faster than you, but in a pack that size, there are usually at least a couple of bingo. The herbivores bolt as you burst out of the tree line, but one of the older specimens twists a leg on a fallen branch and hits the ground with a thud. You descend upon the poor duck-billed son of a gun and rip out its throat before it even knows what hit it. Then you proceed to devour its soft, fleshy bits with abandon. You would hope that satiating your hunger would quiet the roaring tyrannosaur inside you, but alas, the opposite is true. With the savage display of carnage, your animal instincts take over and threaten to drown out the last vestiges of your evolved consciousness completely. If you fight with all your might to retain some shred of humanity, turn to page 170. If you just go with it, turn to page 88, man.
I don't know.
Are we going to double down on being fully T-Rex? Or are we going to fight it?
Let's fight it.
Fight it. We're going to fight it.
Fight
Okay.
with all your might and retain some shred of humanity. All
Page
right.
170.
Thank you, Tad. You are not a prehistoric monster. You are a human being. You swallow the last of the Edmantosaurus entrails. Delicious, delicious Edmantosaurus entrails. And focus on the things that tie you to the civilized world. Cherish childhood memories, your loved ones. That really good first season of Downton Abbey.
It's really good.
Slowly, the ravenous carnosaur subsides and you feel your humanity bubbling to the surface. Suddenly, a colossal shape thunders towards you. A second tyrannosaur has appeared, caught wind of your kill, and decided to challenge you for the carcass. It's bigger than you, looks a lot meaner, and lets out a ferocious howl that tells you it senses weakness. How's that humanity working out for you? All right. Never mind if you let this prehistoric monster back out. Oh, if
Let
you
it
let
out,
the prehistoric
yeah.
monster back out, turn to page 58. No! Your humanity is all you have. If you attempt to smart your way out of this, turn to page 74.
I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm just scared now to kill us again.
But we could try to be smart.
For the radio listeners out there, I do want to mention that the cover of this book book
Oh, yes.
is a dinosaur, a very dapper dinosaur, with a monocle and a top hat.
Who looks like he'd be very happy to be in Downton Abbey.
Oh, that's
So that could be a smart way out for who knows what path leads to the Downton Abbey dinosaurs. But at this point, it's the choice between fighting like a dinosaur or trying to be smart like a person.
What do we all? Let's try to fight it. Let's see if we don't.
You're gonna let the prehistoric monster back out?
All right. Page 58 it is.
It's bigger. It's bigger and stronger than us.
Let's see what happens.
Oh my god.
The Cretaceous period is no place for delicate 21st century sensibilities. Your reptilian brain knows how to handle this threat, though. You let out a roar of your own and lunge, snapping your enormous jaws. The other creature may be bigger, but you just give it the crazy eyes. After a minute or two of growling and snorting and making a fuss, it decides the picked over Edmontosaurus corpse isn't worth it and backs away into the shrubbery. All hail T-Rex, undisputed monarch of the
all
dinosaurs. Turn to page 88.
We did it.
Hold on a second, we're not done. We got to page 88.
All hail. If there was ever a reason to maintain human consciousness while inside the body of a 7-ton killing machine, you sure can't remember what it was. You drop the pretense and go full T-Rex, and it's awesome. Nothing messes with a T-Rex. The only things you have to worry about are potential nosebleeds from how high up the food chain you are. You spend the next couple of hours tromping around, roaring with abandon, eating what you please, and making certain other area carnivores know you're not to be trifled with. All said, it's a pretty sweet gig, at least until mid-afternoon when a stray comet hits the Earth and causes a global extinction event. Poop on a Twinkie. You completely forgot about the global extinction event.
Yep.
The resulting change in climate and atmospheric conditions will fully eradicate your species from the planet within a few thousand years. Since the giant space rock literally crushes you beneath it, though, it completely eradicates your sorry butt significantly faster. The end. Oh, man. That was pretty ripping.
That was good. I like this book.
I think that we need to leave it there.
I think
Ladies
so.
and gentlemen, and Juan and Hesi, thank you for calling. Thank you, guys. Let's give one more plug for Juanito el Nahualito. Where can people find the game?
Yes, it's Team Nahual, so Team Team Nahual, NAHUAL.com.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you
Thanks
so much.
Thanks, guys. And Hesi, we'll miss you, but I know you're taking off. But call in. You can always call in.
Of course. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right. And Tad, what an adventure.
So I want to give another shout out too for this book. So Matt Youngmark is the author. We downloaded this PDF from Drive-Thru RPG, which is a great source online for buying independent role-playing games and independent books. And this one was not expensive. I don't think it was less than $3 for a PDF version.
Yeah.
And there's a lot left of this book
if you
that
want
we have not covered.
I would encourage you to check out Matt's work at youngmark.com. And I think we'll next week we are off here.
Yes.
And I think we're going to pick it up in 2 weeks with Cube of the Elder Scrolls.
We are. We're going to go back to our legitimate RPG, multiplayer RPG, with input from the audience.
As I recall, the party was pretty much lost in a cave with no help from anyone and really just falling apart last I checked. So we're going to need your help in 2 weeks from now right here on the Audience Adventure Radio Hour, right here on KZSC. Tad, thank you so much for being a big part of this show.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Annika, for joining us.
Thank you, Annika.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we'll have you back anytime. Stay tuned. We've got Horn on the Cob coming up with DJ Brown Butter right here on KZSC Santa Cruz 88.1 FM, and you can find us at streaming.kzsc.org. My name is Bennett Williamson, and thank you so much for listening to the Audience Adventure Radio Hour right here on Community Radio KZSC. Here's our theme tune from Thiaz Ich, the Bossa de Autonomie. Enjoy, and have a great Friday night, everybody.